Hello, welcome to another Bitcoin update. Well, happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's going to be an interesting day and an interesting weekend. So tomorrow will be interesting as well. I talked yesterday about the Bitcoin conference and which is happening in Nashville, Bitcoin 2024. And I mentioned that Donald Trump is going to speak today. No, it's actually tomorrow. So tomorrow, as far as I know, that might change, but I think it's tomorrow. That could be interesting because Saturday is usually a bit of a boring day, but with this speech, obviously, there could be some volatility. I mentioned yesterday that already yesterday and today could be a volatile day due to that conference. There are other speakers, right? There's a lot happening in the space, and it's a bullish market. Don't forget that, we are looking at bullishness here, bullish markets, bullish charts. The Bitcoin chart is bullish, specifically as long as we're holding the yellow support region and specifically above the $56,430 level. This is the daily chart. Let's zoom in here a little bit. And on the daily chart, we're tracking that wave 4 completed on the 5th of July. And we've seen a first 5-wave move up. The idea was that, we could have bottomed in wave 4. We needed to see a 5-wave move up as evidence. From an analysis point of view, we can say this wave 4 bottomed. We are likely now in wave 5. Time will tell how the exact microstructure is going to unfold, but we can identify, due to that initial 5-wave move up, we can identify the next relevant support region, which is here, 62,320 to 56,430. It just means that as long as we're holding above it, as long as we don't break the lower boundary of that support area, the uptrend stays intact. And this is a bullish chart. At the same time, if the market makes a pullback into the support region available, it should give us a really good reward to risk ratio, because the move afterwards should be an aggressive rally higher. Now, we have a few options here to label this. I will talk about that on the 1-hour time frame. In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter, but on the 1-hour time frame, we can talk about the relevant microstructure here for this move up. It is possible that wave 1 is still unfolding. It's possible wave 2 is already unfolding. Maybe the wave 2 is already bottomed. There are quite a few options. The last bit up here is a bit messy, but I highlighted to you that we are dealing with a bullish chart against 56,430. This is just looking at the bigger picture. Overall, the next resistance will be around 72K. Very, very important. It is the yellow line here, the yellow resistance line. A very important level. This is the previous swing high from June, from May, here from April, and these are all levels that need to break. Important breakout point to indicate we are in a third wave rally. If we sustain above it, I will assume we're already in a third wave. Okay. Bear in mind, I warned that a wave 2 can be shallow. That's not necessarily something that can be predicted. Some people say that a wave 2 has to go to the 38.2 retracement. That is not correct. It is a guideline that the price should get into this yellow box in a wave 2. But there's a reason why I highlighted throughout the week that wave 2s in bullish markets can be extremely, extremely shallow. Technically, that might mean if you're waiting for a pullback, you need to start buying in a little earlier, or you should at least hold a core position. Okay, but again, it's a bullish market against 56,430. This chart should be treated as bullish. Now let's go to the 1-hour time frame. Before we do that, quick reminder, it is ready for the weekend. We're going to send out the newsletter again on the weekend, maybe even late today, probably rather tomorrow. You can sign up. There's a link in the description. It's completely free. In last week's newsletter, obviously you get an introduction with everything around MCO. You get important links. We covered the NASDAQ. Okay, so that was not covered as a video this week, but we covered it in the newsletter with, charts and mindset techs. And we talked about Chlor, a cryptocurrency. So it was only covered in the newsletter. You got even the chart link. If you click on it, you can access the chart. So that's from the newsletter. So if you want to see all that kind of stuff, feel free to sign up, and all sorts of other stuff as well. Let's go back to the chart. But yeah, I just want to remind you, because we send it out and the more people get it, I mean, the more it all takes work writing that. I mean, it does deliver value, right? And therefore, the more people get it, the better. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour chart. This is obviously here the yellow wave count I talked about in the last video. Yesterday I presented to you the orange and the yellow variation of this wave too. I mean, 2 different pathways. I highlighted to you I prefer the yellow one, because the orange one, which did not allow for such a large bounce, was the less probable one. Mentioned that in the last video. Quick explanation for that. The orange wave count relied on the assumption of a wave 2 correction as a WXY structure. It is quite simple. My reasoning was that I said, okay, the WXY, the orange count, which I've now taken off the chart, is generally less probable because the WXY patterns are less common than ABC patterns. So we focus more on the ABC structure. So that means, or that allowed me to add a support zone late yesterday. I promised that in the last video that I would do that for the next video. Communicated already overnight on Discord. That's the support area that keeps the uptrend intact. I've given my best to add a microstructure here for this move up. Seems like that if this is a B wave, it will overshoot. And the A wave even seems to be a 5-wave move. Okay, so at the moment there is no sign that a B wave pullback has started, but it just, how do you need to read this? Well, if we say a wave 1, this 5-wave move topped really from the 5th of July, then we have an A wave down. This here would be a B wave that might even overshoot. Difficult to say, but it might even overshoot. Could stretch to 70, 71K in a high B wave. Okay, it shouldn't be a surprise, but it needs to be read. So B waves, it's very difficult to predict B waves. So the way to go here, in my opinion, we have a support area which would support any B wave pullback in the larger B wave. Okay, so that means this B wave should normally hold 64,312. It takes a break below that level to indicate that wave C to the downside has started. So this is one scenario that we're dealing with a B wave, which might even still need one more high here in wave A. The other scenario is that the wave 1 is still unfolding, which we also talked about yesterday. I said to you, if we can take the orange count off the chart, then it's between yellow and white. Again, both counts should hold the support area, so it doesn't really matter which one it is at the moment. As long as we're holding above support, the focus could be on higher in a still unfolding B wave, maybe something more bullish. As I said, bear in mind the area around 72K will be the next important structural resistance. So yeah, and only a break below 64,312 will indicate that the move down has started deep into the support area ideally. But until we break that support area, we shouldn't even entertain the idea we have a top here. And bear in mind the volatility. There could be some mood swings on the weekend due to the speeches on the during Nashville 2024. What else? Yeah, and I will adjust the support area, obviously, if needed, which will then be communicated on Discord, but also in the next videos. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.